broom, like poking them like it was a sword, they'd kind of like stagger, like they'd stagger forwards, but their back would arc, and they'd go down on their knees, and then you just fucking like knock them over the head with the broom, and it fucking killed them instantly. It was awesome. Okay, now we have to deal with this dragon. After I collect Peach. Come here! I should just ride with my horse through the lake. Now, where was Lydia? Barnacles. She mine. Am I going completely the wrong way to catch up with Lydia? Yes, I am. I have to go this way. Let's just fast travel. Assassin's Creed 2 was the best one. It had... I need to get rid of... I need to get rid of that goddamn bow, Draven's bow, but I don't know where it goes. It's one of those quest items you pick up that just have no idea where the fuck it's going. Come on, Lydia. You're over on the other island, aren't you?
We heading out?
Yes.
As you will, my Thane. I will protect you with my life.
Yeah, that's yet to be seen. Fishies! Fishies! After Assassin's Creed 2, they kind of turned the storyline into something that was... If it was initially plotted out like that, it would be grand and overarching and all that fun stuff. But as it sits right now... What the fuck? Oh. For a second there, I thought the horse had like a fucking muzzle on. They've turned it into a fucking cash cow to sell games. That's what they turned it into. Gears of War, as developed by the original developers, told a story, got it done, and they're done with it. The people that made Judgment, People Can Fly, that company, they just fucking, they wound up milking that for all it was worth. It's like, well, it's Gears of War, they all did good, so let's just have another one. Assassin's Creed just evolved into the fucking... I think Dragon Ball Z did it best by doing it the worst. Well, you remove something that's so powerful, something even more powerful came up. Because that one person that was kind of powerful was keeping the powerful guy in check. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Well, for Assassin's Creed, the connection to the villains was supposed to be there wasn't a main villain, it was just a wrong door that I went into. It was just an overarching plot that wound up... It was an overarching plot that wound up,
Got lots of jobs available.
What the fuck? Oh, never mind. kind of freaked out there for a second. I thought I didn't go into that place. I thought I went somewhere else and appeared there because the doorways are broken. Assassin's Creed, their overarching plot
Word on
was...
the street is Golden Glow's been hit. Let me take a look at what you found. Arengoth sold Golden Glow? He has no idea the extent.
The
of
Assassin's Creed storyline is that there's a balance. There was a balance in the world. That there are the assassins, which fight for the common everyday man and try and make them as free as possible without oppression, and the Templars that wind up just oppressing everybody because that's what they do. Because every light has to have darkness. But there's no common bad guy. It's literally just a corporation or global force that winds up employing half the world. So it turns out that half the world's your fucking enemy or something.
You and Maven, and I prefer to keep it that way. Don't worry about it.
Then they added in some sci-fi bullshit, some Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were the first assassins because whatever.
Your pay. You're smart as a whiplash. Keep doing right by us, and there's plenty more where that came from.
It wound up being so convoluted. Okay.
Don't you have better things to do? This better be important. I'm quite busy.
Yeah, it's just important.
Ah, you... Hey, watch it!
Come here a second.
Hey, let's talk a second.
A lot of people are beginning to get impressed with you here. Me included. Just wanted to let you know.
Well, I knew at the time that all the 2012 Mayan crap wound up being the fact that... yeah, the Mayan calendar ended because that was, in 2012, that was as far as they decided to take the calendar. They didn't want to build a calendar out any further because they thought back in... when was it? It was 400 AD? Maybe 500 or 600? That whenever they made that, they decided that 2012 was far enough. We don't need to have a calendar going any further. And that's why their calendar stopped. Because they got tired of putting out the One Direction calendars for 300 AD, and the Nickelback calendars for 301 AD, and the cats and the horses. They got tired of putting out those calendars. So they decided that, yeah, the 2012, that was far enough. They had their calendars all planned out till then.
And embrace the teachings of the handmaiden of kind.
Yeah, there's only one handmaiden I like, and it's the handmaiden in my crotch.
So you're the one.
Certainly we can
You
come to
don't
some
look
sort of
so
an understanding.
impressive.
These people must be made aware of the chaos they've sown.
Enough, Maramar. We've all heard of the dragons.
Is that confidence? You have to understand. It's been a long time since Brynjolf sent me anyone.
You'd think she'd have better
online.
clothes for being like a fucking rules half of Skyrim with her trade
I don't
industry.
have faith in anyone. All I care about is cause and effect. Did the job get done, and was it done correctly? There's no gray area.
Well, if there's one thing I like about conspiracies, based on your comment, is conspiracies basically, if you can look at them, look into them and look at what they're saying, they make you think. Which I believe that is the goal of
Head to the Bannered Mare in Whiterun.
all
Malice Market.
understanding, period,
He'll fill you in
is
on
that
all
it
the
makes you think.
details.
People generally don't think. They go with what they've learned and their gut decision and decide that X is bad or Y is bad.
Of course. Nothing gets done without my approval.
So
in the
instead of
city.
pausing and
I
giving
have
it
the Jarl's
thought
ear
as to
and the guards in
what
my
parts
pocket.
of what they're saying is
Anyone
true
makes
and
trouble
what
for
parts
me
of
and
what
I
they're
pay a
saying
visit to the
is
Thieves' Guild.
not true,
Make me angry
in
and
addition
I
to what
contact
parts they
Jarl
may be
properly.
right and what parts they may
You
be
do well
wrong.
to remember that the next time
It
you
just
make
basically,
a
if you can
stupid
take in
observation.
information, process it, and think before you make a decision, if everyone could do that, then that
Some
would be
layabout named
it would
Sargon.
basically make
Been
a better
thorn in
world.
my side for the last few years now.
Alex Jones is hit or miss. He's the shotgun on the broadside of a barn. fires a whole bunch of shots out there trying to rile people up, and occasionally 2 or 3 of the pellets in his load hits the side of the barn, and he gets it dead on. I think the most recent video I watched on him was
Not a day goes by that
one
I
of his
regret
guys
letting
on his
Savion
team
get
was
as far as he
reporting
did.
that the
Only a few
iPhone
short
6
years,
or whatever
he's
the
taken a
fuck,
bile
your
he
hair
calls
gets caught
need
in
to
it,
market,
and
and a chunk
Google
of my
was,
profits
or
with
sorry,
it.
Apple was trying
Can't
to
imagine where he
take
found
your
the gold
hair
to take
out
it to
and get
market so
DNA
quickly.
information off you. And I just threw my hands up and I was like, you know, fuck it, I'm done. This is stupid shit. They can get DNA off you so many other places
Exactly.
that it's just
With
not
in
funny.
Prison, his meadery will be forced to close.
Because
Then
if
I swoop in and take over
the government
place.
is so big,
No more
overarching,
competition.
so well connected that they can do
The Golden
anything they
Glow
want
estate
anytime
job is
that they
undoubtedly
want. If they want to
interrupted
come
the
after
supply of
you,
honey I need to make my mead.
they will, and they'll make it
Savion
look like
could
an
use this
accident.
interruption to his advantage and collect a larger share of the market. I can't have that. The Blackbriar family has always been
I'm just
allied
clicking
with the
things
Guild.
over here.
Our connections with the Empire and within Skyrim make
So when
for
it
a
comes
perfect
to
fit. I dare say the
anything,
Guild owes
if you have the
survival
conspiracy
as much to
theorists
my
saying,
family as it does to
well,
its own
9/11
people.
was planned by the government, and blah, 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 blah. And then you have people saying 9/11 was done by the terrorists, we had no information of this whatsoever. I think it'll be interesting to see in 50 years what comes out.
One more time, in case I wasn't clear. You butcher this job, and you will be
Because
sorry.
information has come out that the attacks on Pearl Harbor, the United States was like, oh shit, we're getting attacked by the Japanese, I guess we're at war now. But months and months before Pearl Harbor had happened, the Japanese told the government and anybody who was willing to listen, we're going to attack Pearl Harbor. Because what happened was the U.S. government decided to cut off, restrict, or just completely stop oil shipments to Japan. Essentially what they were doing is they were provoking them. Oh, fuck you, local map. Why do you always pop up? Oh, you're in Whiterun. Sweet, we can drop everything off. I don't know if he's a con man. If Alex Jones is a con man. There's a lot of stuff that he said that hasn't come to pass. Whether he's early on it or completely wrong, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that he said that has come to pass. So, like I said, a lot of times when you talk about big personalities like that, they're a shotgun against the barn. Some shots are going to hit, some shots aren't. But if you study basic humans and the way people tend to move, what they believe, the common opinion, you can essentially not divine, but you can essentially extrapolate what's going to happen next. And I'm fat. Because there's people all over that always say, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. To assign a particular title to someone saying, well, what's he saying about diet pills and water filters? That's what I'd like to know. You bring that up, but you have to give me more information. Bossman reinforced boots. Yep. Give me some of that shit. Nordic Dwemer blade. I'm not gonna melt that down. I'm gonna save the tribunal mask. Oh, nope. Nope. Don't want to do that. Because that can turn into steel. And quite frankly, steel is good for making my claymores. I need to go in there and adjust the claymore prices. They're way overinflated. Shaman light boots. Quicksilver. Witchplate greaves. Witchplate gauntlets. Spellbinder runic gauntlets.